Here is a lovely little activity that you can do with your child to help build and strengthen their understanding of place value. So all you need is a calculator, and what we're going to do first of all is start with 3 digits, and I'm going to pick the first 3 digits here, consecutive digits, and arrange them in any order that you want to create a 3-digit number. So the challenge for your child is to perform a subtraction such that the 1 becomes a 0. And then once they've done that, they'll turn their attention to the 2 and perform a subtraction such that the 2 becomes a 0. And then finally we look to the 3 and perform a subtraction such that that 3 becomes a 0. So what's actually going to happen here? Well, your child will need to know that that 1 here is representing 1/10, and that the subtraction that's needed here would be to subtract 10 to turn that 1 into a 0. Then we focus on the 2, that's 2 1s, so we just need to subtract 2 there, and that will get rid of that. And then here this 3, well that's 3 hundredths, so to turn that into 0 we need to subtract 300. And your child will be able to do this if they have secure understanding of place value. Now we can make this task a little bit more challenging by adding more digits. So I'm going to now take the digits 1 all the way through to 6 and just place them out here on the calculator in some random assortment. But what you must notice is that we do have each of the digits 1 through to 6 just represented once in this number. So again, starting with 1, perform a subtraction such that the 1 becomes a 0. Well, in that case, we're just subtracting 1 because it's in the ones column. Then find the 2, here it is. It's in the tens of thousands column. So we need to subtract 2 tens of thousands or 20,000 in order for that to become a 0. Then we can turn our attention to the 3, which is of course in the tens column. Now, what's worth noting here is if your child makes a mistake, and if they think perhaps I should just subtract 3 here, maybe I just subtract 3 and not 30. So if they go ahead and do that and subtract 3, we'll see that our intended 3 hasn't disappeared, which is what we were hoping for. So we can just fix that by adding it back on. We just undo the last action and it gets us back to where we were before. So then we realise that just subtracting 3 wasn't good enough and that actually I need to subtract 30 from here to get rid of the 3. Then of course we would just complete this by subtracting 4,000, then 500,000, then 600, and that whole number would go to 0. So you can keep going and add more digits into the millions if you want, tens of millions, or we can make it more challenging by introducing a decimal point. So if I go back to maybe the first 3 digits again, then we could have perhaps a number like this, which has a decimal point into it, and we would perform a subtraction such that the 1 becomes a 0. Now what's important here is of course the 1 is in the hundredths column, so we need to subtract 100th, which of course looks like this, 0.01. So there's the 1 gone. Then we need to get rid of the 2. Well, it is in the ones column, so subtracting 2 will do that. And that leaves us with the 3. How do we get rid of that? Well, we subtract 0.3. So I think hopefully you can see here how we can start off quite simply with this little activity, but we can increase the difficulty and we can provide a variety of challenges such that your child will become more confident and more secure in their knowledge of place value.